You do look beautiful. You're ready.
Do I have to look at the camera or can I talk?
No, you can talk about this.
Okay.
I'm just going to try and hold it steady and not laugh so much during it.
Alright, are we good?
Yeah, we're good. We're recording. Don't leave out any of the details.
Once upon a time, in a land about a year and like a month ago, I only remember because it was starting to get like flowery outside, and I know it was also the end of the semester because I was relaxed. I texted this guy who said he was into Daddy's Son roleplay. I was like, I could try that. That sounds like it might be fun. Like I've read some smut on the internet like that. That could be good. And I show up to the address he gave me because all he sent me was an address, and it was a Holiday Inn Express.
Oh shit. But you're like, well, I'm already here.
I was already there. So I parked my large minivan, my large piece of shit minivan, rest in peace, in the parking lot. It's like 3 in the morning, right? 3 in the morning. And I walk in, and it's a hotel. It's weird. The clerk looks at me like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "I'm going this way. Bye." So I go to I tell him I'm here, and he gives me his room number. So I go to his room. He enters the door in just his underwear. I was like, "Good start. Good start."
Yeah.
He's like what I expected him to look like. He's like tall, but 40 something. But clearly, all of his stuff is in this room. Like clearly. And I was sort of like, okay. Let's just move forward.
You've been living here for a while.
So we get onto his bed, and he's just in his underwear and fondling himself the whole time, right? And there's never a clear opportunity where I should just take my clothes off, because he wants to talk about philosophy. And so I'll entertain this conversation for about 10 more minutes. And then I looked at it, I was like, I'm taking my clothes off now. And he got all what? You're taking your pants off? I was like, yep. That's what I'm doing. So I take my pants off. Great. Now we're both fondling ourselves. Well, he still continues to talk about philosophy. And it was sort of
really loves it.
for real. So then the worst thing ever happens. He finally is about to put on porn or something, right? Because he didn't want, I don't know, he didn't want to just get into it. He wanted to do this whole shebang. And I was like, whatever. But then the worst thing in the world happens. I get a phone call from my dad at 4 in the morning. Max, they found your car in a Holiday Inn Express parking lot. Why is it there? Was it stolen? They found it. And I was like, oh yeah, it got stolen about a week ago, but then they found it and returned it because it's a piece of shit. So I assumed when the police found it, they took it off the stolen record. And my dad was like, well, what's it doing there? Are you there with it? I was like, yes. He was like, what are you doing there? I was like, hanging out with a friend at a Holiday Express, half an hour away from my house at 3 in the morning. So, thank you.
It's so shameful and awesome.
So, I hang up on my dad. I was like, I'll go deal with this. And I go up to the police office and they're like, what are you here for? I was like, I'm seeing a friend. They're like, oh, you're seeing a friend, huh? So I was like, yep. They're like, okay, so we dealt with all the car shit. It's fine. They're like, so you're going to go back to your friend now? And I was like, yep. They're like, have fun. I was like, thanks, policeman. So I go back downstairs. I call my dad again. I'm like, it's dealt with. He was like, well, are you still there? I was like, yes, I'm still here. God damn it. I'll talk to you later. Bye. So I go back into this room. And you'd think this is the weird part of this interaction, right? No, not yet. So I get back inside. I promptly take my pants off this time. There's no waiting around. He puts on porn of some 18-year-old twink. I was like, no, it's got to be a man. He goes like, well, I like twinks. I was like, well, I like men, so we've got to compromise here. So we find something with like one of each. And things are fine. Then the good part of the sex happens. He like ties me up. There's all sorts of fun shit. Reasons that I came over there.
Yeah.
Like all sorts of good shit goes down for a minute. Then he asked me if I would put on a polite pair of underwear, and I said, "What do you mean?" And he gets out these children's Superman briefs. He's like, "I like to have my partner wear children's underwear," and I was like, "Okay, I'll do that. Like, I'm already here. I'll fulfill your little fantasy if it's just putting on underwear." So I put them on. It's very difficult. And I felt very, very fat. I remember that because it made me my muffin top like boom. And I was like, all right, if this is what he's into, I'm glad he's into it. Mind you, I'm still tied up from like the waist down. So like the underwear are like over this whole rope contraption. Like, he was like, I have to cut apart at least 2 packs of these a week for myself because I can't get it out to the fly because my body. I was like, you cut apart 2 packs of children's underwear a week, and he was like, yup, that's what I do for fun by myself. And I was like, all right.
Cool.
So then he asked me to lay on top of him with my head on top of his face, like the back of my head on top of his face, because he was like, I like to be crushed like this. I was like, okay, whatever, this is fine. I don't have to look at you right now. But then he started whispering into my ear while I'm laying on top of him about his 8-year-old brother and having sex with his 8-year-old brother.
Oh.
Like, wait, how old was he?
So, his brother's about like 3 years younger than him, I guess.
Okay.
So, the story started when he was like 21 and his brother was 18. So I was like, that's consensual. That's weird, but okay. Then it's when he's 18 and his brother's 15. Like, I was a sexually like charged person by 15. I could see this. Fine. Then 15 and 12. And I was like, oh. And then it was 8 and 11. And he said, can you pretend to be my brother at 11? And I was like, I didn't even think about like sex until I was like 15. Like, no. I like have no idea what that would even be like. Do you want me to be like, brother? He said if I had to pretend to be his brother, then I was gonna have to go stand in the closet and watch him masturbate.
Oh my god.
So the sex finishes because I'm still
Like, so I finished.
yeah. So I decided I was about to be done.
Did you try and come as fast as possible?
Of course I did. And it was like, wowie zowie, and it was over.
I hope that's actually what you say when you come.
Wowie zowie. So I'm going to say tonight. On mushrooms, I'm going to yell wowie zowie. But,
Sounds like an appropriate term.
So, things finish up. I decide it's time to go. And then he puts on a pair of children's underwear. I was like, this is just how I hang out. I was like, okay, bye. And I left. And then he started messaging me on Grindr like the next day, like, you want to come over again? And at this point, like, I was sort of considering it. I was like, maybe. Like, that could be fun. You were fucking weird.
Like, it was so weird, it
Like,
might
was
be
so
worth it
weird.
again.
It might be worth it again. But then he started, like, talking about how, like, he was so fucked up right now. I was like, okay, like, on what? He was like, oh, just like a little bit of pot. And I was like, so you're not fucked up. He was like, but then like I didn't answer him for like a minute and a half or something. And he got like all stressed and started sending me stress texts like, why you stop talking to me? I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? He was like, well, actually, I did a purple Kool-Aid heroin enema.
Whoa!
And I was like, well, opt out. You had your chance. But that's like a strong line. It's like heroin doing is a no.
And in the butt.
In the butt, heroin doing.
Oh my god.
That's the wowie zowie story of that specific sex time
Oh god.
at the Holiday Inn Express.
So good. Did you enjoy that, Meredith?
That was a phenomenal adventure that you just took me on.
That was a pure masterpiece.
Poetry.